Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Trump repeatedly confirmed that he's going to continue to send arms to Ukraine, though. Yeah, we're going to be continuing. We will have arms to Ukraine. But then Zelensky couldn't resist instigating a totally unnecessary debate with J.D. Vance. What a bizarre performance. What do you think, really? Do you think Zelensky thought he was going to come in and bully Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and the American people?
On camera?
Well, on camera? What? Like, I understood that he was the one who insisted on doing it in front of camera. I can't validate that, but what do both of you think about that?
It's an excellent question. I think that he did think that he could bully Donald Trump, or at least embarrass Donald Trump on camera. I mean, he's been trying to get this guarantee of some kind from the Americans. He's very, very angry that he hasn't got it, that Donald Trump hasn't given him the guarantee, the security guarantee that he's been looking for. I don't even really understand, by the way, what the security guarantee he is talking about even is now, because the Americans have said no NATO, but Zelensky's never someone to take no for an answer. So I think he came along. Probably he's had difficult words with Biden before. Apparently he has, but he seems to have thought that if he could do it this time on camera, well, that would embarrass the Americans and it might get him what he wanted. Who knows? It's difficult to read Zelensky's mind, but that he was already very angry before he came to Washington, that he was fuming, that we could see. I mean, we could see that it would happen, something like this would happen. In fact, we said on one of our programs today that there was a real possibility that there could be some kind of a smash when Zelensky came to Washington. He's very, very angry that he offered all those mineral rights to the Americans. He started doing this back in the summer. He thought that it was some kind of bribe that would get the Americans to continue to support him and to support Ukraine. He was very unhappy that he was presented with a deal which basically gave those mineral rights to the Americans, and he didn't get the security guarantee that he was looking for. And at some point, he just went over the edge. And if you follow Zelensky, it really isn't that surprising. That is who he is. I mean, people have got, used to thinking of Zelensky as this accomplished world leader. He's never been that. The person you saw today is the real Zelensky. He's always been this way. There's a great article, by the way, in the British magazine, The Spectator, which just, from somebody who knows him, who makes exactly that point. And it was written again several days ago.
So, Alex, why doesn't Zelensky just take the deal, retire to his vineyard in Italy, and make wine? I'm sure he's got houses now. I'm sure that I'm sure he's got at least $1 billion stash somewhere through a third or fourth party and shell companies and what have you. I mean, why? I mean, Colonel McGregor was on the show and he said he doesn't think that they're going to let Zelensky live like that they're going to come and axe him. But why doesn't he just take the deal and get out of Dodge?
Well, there were reports that claim that he wanted to go to Paris, or he has some sort of deal set up to go to Paris. The New York Post reported on that about a week ago. So maybe he doesn't go to Italy. Maybe he goes to Paris. I don't know. But I think he's got a lot of difficulties trying to exit this entire mess. I think he's got difficulties coming from the United States, perhaps from various intel agencies. I'm sure he knows a lot of stuff that they don't want coming out. He's got a lot of problems in Ukraine. He's got the Banderites. He's got the Nazis in the West. All of these people who want him to continue the war, and they're going to be very upset if this thing comes to a conclusion. So I mean, he probably had an opportunity last March. If he had elections, he could have had those elections. His wife was actually nudging him to have the elections. He canceled those elections We all know, everyone knows now, because Trump talks about it all the time, that he canceled those elections. And that probably was the last opportunity that he had to exit the scene. He could have had those elections. He would have lost, and he could have said, okay, I'll see you guys later. But he decided to stay on. I think he decided to stay on because he understands that if he goes to the West, he's going to have problems because of everything he knows and then the big mess up that he's made. And if he stays in Ukraine, well, then he's got a whole set of other problems. The only place he could probably go to be safe would be to call Putin, I guess. I mean, call Putin and just tell Putin, look, can you take care of me? I don't know.
Anyway, any last words about this scene today, gentlemen?
Well, it is the end of Zelensky, and I have to say, I think it's the beginning of the end of the whole story. I can't imagine that the US is going to continue to support Ukraine at the same level that it's been. Anything like that, I think that the Americans will gradually walk away. The Europeans may try to keep this going, but even they will probably realize at some point that they just can't. So perhaps actually, as a result of all of this, we might be a step closer to peace because either Zelensky will go and somebody will take over in Kiev who's more realistic than he is and understands that the Americans are not going to go on bankrolling this indefinitely and will start to negotiate seriously to achieve peace, or something else will happen which will at least bring the war to an end. But I think that we are now really definitely in the end game, the end stage from this point.
I mean, Zelensky looks so sad. I expect to see him on Cameo soon, asking you to give him $50 to wish your wife happy birthday. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Baltimore, Hartford, Connecticut, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.